Welcome to Somatic Shadow Work for Sleep, a meditation series that recalibrates the thoughts, actions, and habits that govern your daily life. Your guide in these meditations is Seth Cherepak, author of Awaken Your Shadow and founder of somatic axiology. These meditations speak to your dominant form of intelligence, known by cognitive neuroscience as value intelligence. Value intelligence, or VQ, operates upstream of your intellectual intelligence, IQ, and your emotional intelligence, EQ. VQ is the decentralized intelligence sprawling throughout your entire being, like an underground root system feeding every branch above it and the fruit it bears. This is how somatic axiology succeeds in delivering on the promises made by the schools of New Age energy healing, which address mainly your EQ, and conventional methods like positive affirmations and mindset programs, which address mainly your IQ. Somatic axiology speaks to your VQ. Listen to this in a place where your attention is free to shift from the worries and cares of the external world into the rich architecture of your internal world, where your transformation begins. In this episode, Activating Your Sovereign Self, Seth guides you on a journey into the part of you that learned to retreat, to apologize, to kneel, or to say yes while something inside you was saying no. This is your first step toward living a life true to yourself, instead of what the world expects of you.
We will begin our journey with 4 deep breaths. Breathe in quickly, feeling your belly expand. Hold as your body begins to relax and your mind begins its descent. Breathe out, feeling your body relax and your mind descending deeper. Breathe in again, feeling your belly expand more and more, and hold. Breathe out slowly as your body relaxes more and more, and your mind descends deeper and deeper. Breathe in again, your belly expanding more and more and more. Hold. Now begin the slow release, your body relaxing more and more, your mind descending deeper and deeper and deeper. Breathe in a final time, your belly expanding fully. Hold. Now breathe slowly out, your body relaxing completely, your mind descending deeper and deeper and deeper, all the way to the deepest part, the part beyond your thoughts, beyond your feelings, and beyond your conscious reach. You are now completely relaxed and at peace. It's late, and you already know the exact shade of this hour. Not midnight. Past it. The hour when the house has surrendered to silence, and the only thing still awake is you, and the low machinery of your own mind. You are on your back, or on your side. It doesn't matter, because no position is the right one tonight. You have tried them all, and there it is beside you, glowing. The phone resting on the nightstand like an artificial moon, casting its pale, cold light across the ceiling, a false dawn that never becomes morning, and you feel it pulling at you. the phantom urge, the reach that hasn't happened yet, but is already happening in your hand. Just to check, just one more time. Not because anything is there. You know nothing is there. No message that will change your life is waiting at this hour. No notification will fix the thing humming beneath your ribs. And still the hand drifts. Still the thumb remembers the shape of the gesture. Still some animal part of you believes that the glow will quiet the noise. This is not self-help. This is somatic shadow work. Not a trick to help you fall asleep. Not a breathing exercise to manage the symptom. Somatic shadow work is the slow descent beneath your thoughts, into the body that has been carrying something all day, that it only sets down here in the dark when no one is watching. So let's go there slowly. Let's start with what your body is actually doing right now. Notice your jaw right now as you listen. There is a tension there you did not put there on purpose. A low clench, a holding, as though even in bed, even in the dark, even with nothing left to say, your jaw is braced against words it has been swallowing for years. Let it be tense for now. Don't fix it. Just notice it. Because that jaw has a story, and we will get to it. Now notice your chest, that tightness just beneath the sternum, not pain, pressure, a held breath that never fully releases, an inhale that stops 3/4 of the way down, as if your body does not quite believe it has permission to take the whole thing. You have been breathing like this for so long that shallow has come to feel like normal. Now notice your mind, because that is the loudest room in the house tonight. It will not stop. It is replaying a conversation from this afternoon, editing it, rewriting your lines, saying the thing you wish you had said. It is rehearsing a conversation that hasn't happened yet, building the case, preparing the defense, anticipating the reaction of a person who is fast asleep and not thinking about you at all. This is the overactive mind, and you have come to think of it as intelligence. You are the analytical one, the thoughtful one, the one who sees all the angles. And you do. You really do. But tonight I want you to consider something you have never let yourself consider. What if all that thinking is not wisdom? What if it is patrol? What if that mind that never rests is not analyzing the world, but guarding a border, scanning, monitoring, watching the faces, the tones, the moods of everyone in your life for the first sign of disapproval? What if your brilliant, exhausting mind is a sentry that was posted long ago, and never told it could stand down. Sit with that. Because here is the thing about this hour. This is the only time the performance stops. All day you wore it. The calm, the steadiness, the easygoing, agreeable, unbothered man, the one who goes with the flow, the one who is fine with whatever, the one who never makes it difficult. You wore that face into every room. You wore it so well that people believed it. You wore it so long that you started to believe it too. You called it being laid back. You called it being mature. You called it being spiritual. You called it peace. But look at you now, alone, in the dark, jaw tight, chest braced, mind racing, hand drifting toward a glowing screen for relief that never comes. Is that peace? Or is that a man who has been holding his breath for so long? He forgot there was ever another way to breathe? Because there is a difference the world taught you to ignore, the difference between calm and sedation. Calm is a presence. Sedation is an absence. Calm is a man at home on his own throne. Sedation is a man who left the throne empty and called the silence in the throne room serenity. And the witness inside you knows the difference. That quiet observer behind your eyes. The one watching you listen right now. The one that has been watching all along. It knows you are not at peace. It has known for a long time. It felt it today in that moment you let slide. The comment you laughed off. The boundary you didn't name. The opinion you swallowed because voicing it felt too dangerous. You told yourself it didn't matter. You told yourself you were being gracious. But your body kept the score. The jaw remembers. The chest remembers. The mind racing now at this impossible hour remembers. Because every time you abandoned yourself today to keep the peace, a small bill came due, and the body always collects at night. This is the silent exhaustion you cannot explain to anyone. You are not tired from doing too much. You are tired from holding too much. Tired from the constant invisible labor of managing how you come across. Tired from monitoring every room for tension. Tired from being the one who absorbs, who accommodates, who smooths it over. Tired from a war so quiet that even you don't know you're fighting it. A war between the man the world rewards you for being and the man who is still in there, beneath the agreeable face, beneath the easy laugh, beneath the carefully managed calm, waiting. You can feel him sometimes. In the flash of irritation you swallow, in the resentment that surprises you with its heat, in the strange grief you feel watching another man speak his mind without flinching, That is not envy. That is recognition. That is the part of you that you exiled, calling out from the room you locked him in. And tonight, in this glowing dark, he is closer to the surface than usual. You can feel it. That is why you cannot sleep. That is why the phone cannot soothe you. That is why no position in the bed is the right one. Because something in you is done pretending the sedation is peace, done mistaking the empty throne for serenity, done holding the breath. So do not reach for the phone. Let the artificial moon go dark. Stay here with me in the real dark. The honest dark, jaw tight, chest braced, mind racing, and the witness awake behind it all. Because tonight we are not going to quiet that restless mind. We are going to find out who it has been guarding and why he was sent into exile in the first place. So let us go back before the agreeable man, back before the easy laugh, back before the calm you learned to wear like ceremonial robes, back to the boy, because there was a boy, and that boy was not passive. That boy was loud. That boy was wild. That boy had a body full of raw, ungoverned current. He wanted things openly, shamelessly. He reached for what he wanted with both hands, and he howled when it was taken from him. He had anger that arrived like weather, sudden, total, honest. He had a no that came from the deepest part of him, a no with a whole body behind it. He had appetite. He had refusal. He had a wild, untrained instinct for his own sovereignty. That boy was not a problem to be solved. That boy was a king in seed form. But a king in seed form is dangerous to a world that needs compliant men. And so the conditioning began not with cruelty necessarily, sometimes with love, sometimes with the gentlest of hands. That is what makes it so hard to see, because the decloring did not feel like an attack. It felt like being raised. Every time the boy got angry, he learned that the anger made the room colder, that the people he needed pulled away. That love seemed to dim when his fire rose. So he learned fire costs love. Every time the boy said no, a real no, a no with his whole body behind it, he learned that the no was a problem, that it made him difficult, that it made him bad, that the adults around him were more pleased when he obeyed than when he was honest. So he learned, my no is unwelcome, my yes is what makes me good. Every time the boy wanted something too loudly, reached for it too openly, he learned that naked appetite was embarrassing. That wanting made him needy. That desire was something to hide. So he learned to mute the wanting, to pretend he didn't care, to ask for less than he needed so that no one would ever see how much he longed. This is how a compliant civilization declaws its young, not in one violent moment. In 10,000 small corrections, a raised eyebrow, a withdrawn warmth, a disappointed silence that hurt worse than any blow. And the boy being intelligent, being adaptive, being a creature who needed love the way lungs need air, did the only thing he could do. He split himself in two. This is the moment. This is the original fracture beneath everything. He took the parts of himself the world rewarded, the agreeable parts, the helpful parts, the quiet, easy, accommodating parts, and he placed them in the front of the house. He put them on display. He made them the face he showed the world. And the other parts, the anger, the refusal, the appetite, the wild, dangerous, sovereign current, those he dragged downward, down beneath the floorboards of the psyche, down into the dark cellar beneath the cathedral of his conscious self. And there in that cellar he chained the animal, not killed it. You cannot kill it. Chained it, buried it alive, left it pacing in the dark beneath the floor of the life he was building. This is the castration of the king, not a physical thing, an energetic one, a spiritual one, the severing of a man from the very force that was meant to make him sovereign. And in the empty space where that force used to live, the boy installed something else. A script, a survival contract. A set of rules so deep he no longer experiences them as rules. He experiences them as himself. Be agreeable. Be easy. Do not take up too much space. Do not make them uncomfortable. Do not be difficult. Do not be a burden. Above all, do not be dangerous. This is the survival contract. And the boy signed it in the only currency he had, his own sovereignty. He traded the throne for belonging. He traded his teeth for a seat at the table. He traded the king for the courtier. And for a while, it worked. That is the cruelest part. The contract worked. He was loved for it. He was praised for it. He was called good, mature, easy to be around. The reward was real. And so the contract deepened year after year, reinforced by every approval, hardened by every withheld disapproval he managed to avoid, until the costume stopped feeling like a costume. This is what somatic shadow work calls role possession. When a role is worn so long, so completely, that the man inside forgets he is wearing it, the mask fuses to the face, the actor forgets the play, the survival contract stops being something he does and becomes something he believes he is. This is how false selves are born, not as lies he tells, as identities he inhabits. The agreeable man is not a performance he chooses each morning. He is a role that possesses him before he is even awake. And these false selves build their own territory inside him, their own little kingdoms, counterfeit kingdoms, built on the buried throne of the real king, ruling in his name, collecting tribute from a life that was never theirs to govern. And the boy, now a man, lies awake at night in a kingdom run by counterfeits and wonders why he feels like a stranger in his own life. He does not remember signing the contract. He does not remember the seller. He does not remember the animal he chained beneath the floor. He only knows that something is missing, that some current that should be running through him has been dammed, that he is somehow both exhausted and unused, both overfull and empty, both the most reasonable man in every room, and a stranger to the deepest part of himself. But the animal in the cellar has not forgotten. The chained king has not forgotten. He has been down there the whole time, pacing, waiting, listening through the floorboards for the one sound he has waited a lifetime to hear. The sound of the man above him, finally getting tired enough, honest enough, awake enough to come down the stairs. And tonight, you are standing at the top of those stairs, so come down the stairs with me. Into the cellar, into the present. Because the contract you signed as a boy is still being paid by the man you are tonight. And the interest has been compounding for decades. Let me show you the bill. Not the dramatic version. There was no explosion, no single catastrophe you can point to. That is what makes it so hard to see. The cost of the contract is not paid in disasters. It is paid in leakage, a slow, invisible draining of life force through 1,000 tiny openings that you no longer even notice you are leaving open. Watch how it happens. Someone asks you for something that costs you time you don't have, energy you can't spare, and before the request has even finished landing, you feel the real answer rise in your body. No. Clean. Immediate. True. And you watch yourself override it. You watch the yes come out of your mouth. Smooth, easy, automatic, while the no sinks back down beneath the floorboards to join all the others. That is leakage, a small one. You barely felt it, but you do it 10 times a day, 100 times a week, and each unstated no is a coin of sovereignty, slipped quietly out of your own pocket and handed to someone who did not even know to ask for it. Watch how you speak. You have something to say, a real opinion, a genuine disagreement, and before it leaves you, it goes through the editor, the internal censor who has been on duty since you were a boy. He softens it. He hedges it. He wraps it in so much padding that by the time it arrives, it carries no weight at all. You add the maybe. You add the I could be wrong. You add the little laugh at the end. That tells the room not to take you too seriously. You disarm yourself before you speak, so that no one will ever experience the full force of your conviction. And you call this humility, but the witness knows what it really is. It is a man managing perception. Instead of telling the truth, this is the daily labor of the passive man, not building, not creating, managing how he comes across, managing the temperature of every room, managing the comfort of everyone around him at the cost of his own. It is exhausting, invisible work, and no one ever thanks him for it, because no one ever sees it. But here is what they do not tell you about the buried no. It does not disappear. The aggression you refuse to express, the refusal you swallowed, the boundary you would not name, none of it dissolves. It goes underground, and underground it sours. It turns to resentment, silent, simmering, unspoken. And because the resentment cannot come out as a clean, honest no, it leaks out sideways. This is the leakage that poisons your relationships. The sigh instead of the sentence. The cold shoulder instead of the conversation. The thing you say you're fine with, while your whole body says you are not. The help you give while quietly keeping score, because that is what the passive man does. He becomes an accountant of invisible debts. He gives and he tallies. He sacrifices and he records. He builds a secret ledger of everything he has done for everyone, and everything he believes he is owed. And he waits for the world to notice, to repay him, to finally see how much he has carried. But the world never reads the ledger, because no one ever knew it existed. And so the resentment grows, and the man who prides himself on being kind becomes quietly, secretly bitter in a way that confuses even him. This is the toxic passivity beneath the agreeable mask. Not peace, a slow poisoning, Now look at your work, your career, your wider life in the world, because the contract has a price there too. The man who cannot say no cannot set the terms. The man who edits his voice into harmlessness cannot command a room. The man who manages everyone's comfort cannot make the hard, unpopular call that real leadership requires. So he stalls. He watches less talented men move past him. Men who are not smarter, men who are not deeper, men who simply never signed the contract he signed. Men who can say no without apologizing. Men who can let a room be uncomfortable. Men who do not leak their force through 1,000 unstated boundaries. And he tells himself a story about why. He tells himself he is being patient. He tells himself the right people will recognize him eventually. He tells himself he is too principled to play the game. But the witness knows the truth. He is not too principled. He is too afraid. Afraid of the heat that rises when he takes up space. Afraid of the disapproval he was taught to treat as death. Afraid of the very power he buried in the cellar all those years ago. And here is where the trap closes. Because somewhere in him, he believes there are only two options: stay buried or explode. Remain the harmless man, or become the monster he was warned he would be if he ever let the animal out. This is the all-or-nothing fallacy, the lie at the very center of the contract. The lie that says power can only be either suppression or destruction, either the chained animal or the feral one, either silence or violence. And because those are the only two options he can imagine, he chooses the cage every time. He keeps the animal chained because he was never taught there was a third thing, a king who governs the animal, a man who holds the force without being possessed by it. But we will get to that. Not yet. First, you have to feel the full weight of where the contract has left you. Because all of this leakage, all of this management, all of this silent resentment and stalled ambition and swallowed truth, it does not vanish at the end of the day. It accumulates. It pools. It waits. And it has a place where it waits, a room inside you, the room you enter every night when the lights go out and the distractions run dry, and there is nothing left between you and yourself. The oblivion room, the chamber where every abandoned self has gone to wait for you. Every no you didn't say, every truth you edited, every boundary you let dissolve, every version of you that you exiled to keep the peace. They are all in there, in the oblivion room, and in the deepest corner of it, beneath the floorboards, The chained king is still pacing. You have spent your whole life avoiding that room, filling the silence, reaching for the glowing phone, doing anything to keep from hearing what is waiting for you in there. But tonight, you are already inside it. And the king has heard your footsteps on the stairs, so let us begin the work. Not the thinking, the work. Because everything until now has been seeing, and seeing is not enough. The witness has shown you the contract. The witness has shown you the cellar. The witness has shown you the leakage and the ledger and the chained king pacing in the dark. But understanding the cage has never once opened a door. This is where somatic shadow work parts ways with everything you have tried before. You have read the books. You have understood your patterns. You have named your wounds in the language of psychology. And nothing changed. Because the contract was not signed in your mind. It was signed in your body, and it can only be rewritten there. So tonight we do not rewrite a belief. We perform an initiation, and the initiation has a name. The tactical no. Listen carefully, because the protocol is almost insultingly simple and almost impossibly hard. The next time someone asks something of you, something that violates your time, your energy, your values, or the quiet truth of your own intuition, you are going to say one word. No. That is it. That is the whole protocol. But here is the part that makes it an initiation. You are going to say it without the courtroom defense. You know the defense. You have given it your whole life. The long explanation, the list of reasons, the carefully constructed case, designed to make your no acceptable to the person hearing it. That defense is not politeness. That defense is the leak. It is the sound of a man who does not believe his no is allowed to stand on its own. So he props it up with justifications until it is no longer a boundary, but a negotiation. Tonight you remove the scaffolding. You say no, or you say, that doesn't work for me. And then you do the hardest thing a passive man can do. You stop talking. You let the no stand naked in the air, unexplained, undefended, unsoftened, and then the initiation truly begins. Because the moment that word leaves you, your body is going to revolt. This is the part no one prepares you for. This is the part we are going to walk through together, slowly, so that when it happens you do not run. First, the heat. It rises fast. Up through the chest, into the throat, a flush of something that feels like shame and fear braided together. Then the stomach, it tightens, it drops. That hollow falling sensation as though you have done something terribly wrong. Then the pulse. You will feel it in your neck, in your wrists, in your ears. A racing, pounding insistence that something has gone dangerously off script. And then the voice, the old script, the survival contract screaming up from beneath the floorboards. Fix it. Soften it. Take it back. Explain yourself. Apologize. Make them comfortable again. You have abandoned the contract, and the contract is fighting for its life. And every cell in your body will tell you the same thing. You are not safe. This is the moment. This is the entire initiation compressed into a few unbearable seconds. And here is what you must understand before you ever walk into it. That heat is not a warning. That panic is not a sign that you have done something wrong. That screaming in your nervous system is not danger. It is withdrawal. You are detoxing from a lifetime of ontological slavery. For decades, you sedated this exact feeling. Every time the heat began to rise, you reached for the yes, the apology, the explanation, the performance, the way an addict reaches for the needle, and it worked. The heat went down, and the chain stayed on. So tonight, when you say no and do not run, you are refusing the sedative for the first time. And the body does what any system does when the drug is withheld. It panics. It rebels. It convinces you that you are dying. You are not dying. You are withdrawing from a master you have served your entire life. So you stay inside the heat. You do not fix it. You do not soften it. You do not rush to rescue the other person from the discomfort of your boundary. You sit in the fire of your own sovereignty returning, and you let it burn without obeying it. Feel your feet. Feel the ground beneath them. Feel the breath move even if it is shallow, even if it shakes. Let the stomach clench. Let the pulse race. Let the old voice scream. And do not move. This is the threshold. This is the doorway out of the oblivion room. And every second you remain in that heat without collapsing, the chained king takes one step up the stairs. Because this is what governs the animal, not the cage, not the explosion, containment. This is the dimmer switch. The whole of your life you believed power had only two settings, off or on, buried or feral, silence or violence. That was the all or nothing fallacy, and it was always a lie. The dimmer switch is the truth your body is learning in this very moment. That you can feel the full current of your force. The heat, the aggression, the raw sovereign power moving through you, and you can hold the dial. Not slammed off, not blasted to destruction. Governed, held in the steady hand of the king who has finally returned to the throne. This is how the no becomes clean, not cold, not cruel, not an explosion of all the years you swallowed. Just a man holding his ground, without leaking and without erupting. And as you stand in that heat and refuse to abandon yourself, something ancient reassembles inside you. A vow. The oldest decree of the sovereign man. The sovereign contract that replaces the survival contract you signed as a boy. Say it with me now. Not from the mind, from the chest, from the ground beneath your feet. My yes is yes. My no is no. Not maybe. Not if everyone approves. Not if it keeps the false peace intact. My yes is yes. My no is no. This is the new contract. Signed not in fear but in fire. Signed not in the mind but in the body. And every tactical no you survive from here. Every wave of heat you sit inside without running is another signature on that contract. Another inch of the throne reclaimed. Another step the king takes. Up out of the cellar. Into the light of the life he was always meant to govern. So let the heat settle now. You have done the hard thing. Or you have seen for the first time what the hard thing will be. Either way, something in you has shifted tonight. Let your breath return to its own rhythm. Slower now. Deeper than it was when we began. Feel the weight of your body against the bed. The simple gravity of being here, held by the earth. At rest, the jaw can loosen now. Let it. The chest can open now. Let it. The mind that was racing when we started is quieter, not because we silenced it, but because for once you listened to what it was guarding, and the king has heard your footsteps on the stairs. But before you drift, before this night folds into sleep, there is something you need to understand. What we entered tonight was only one room, the passive self. One chamber, one counterfeit kingdom, one false self that has been collecting tribute from your life. But the house is larger than this, far larger, because the oblivion room has many doors, and behind each one waits another exiled self, another part of you that was buried alive, to purchase belonging in a world that feared your wholeness. Behind one door, the codependent self, the one who disappears into other people, who abandons himself to remain loved. Behind another, the insecure self, the one who braces all night against a danger that never comes, who mistakes his sedation for peace. Behind another, the reckless self, the one with the starving engine, who burns down good things just to feel alive. And behind others still, the one who cannot trust his own knowing, the one exhausted by a mask he cannot remove, the one who calls his control holiness. 7 rooms, 7 selves, 7 thrones, each one waiting for the king to return. And here is the truth you cannot escape. The sovereign cannot rule an empty house. You can reclaim this one room tonight. You can learn the tactical no. You can hold the heat and sign the sovereign contract. But if the other rooms remain dark, if the other selves remain exiled, the king you are becoming will still be vulnerable. Because a counterfeit does not need every room to rule you. It only needs the one you refuse to enter. You can stand sovereign in your relationships and still be ruled by the insecurity that wakes you at 3 in the morning. You can hold a clean boundary and still sabotage the very thing you built. The throne in one room means nothing, while the other rooms still belong to the exiles. This is why awareness alone was never enough. This is why understanding this one night is not the same as walking the whole house. The Matrix will gladly let you understand your passivity, so long as you never map the rest of the kingdom. It will gladly let you feel sovereign for one evening, so long as you wake tomorrow and forget there are 6 more doors. Do not forget. This is why I wrote Awaken Your Shadow, not as self-help, not as motivation, not as another book to understand and set on the shelf beside the others. I wrote it as a map of the entire house, a descent through all 7 selves, a torch to carry into every darkened room, where a part of you was left waiting. It is not information, it is a mirror. It will show you the rooms you have been avoiding, the contracts you signed in the dark, the exact machinery beneath your anxiety, your relationships, your sabotage, and your silence. And it is a weapon of reclamation, not to wield against the world, but to cut the chains off the selves you buried and call them one by one back to the throne. So when the light returns, when this night has passed and the noise of the world rises again, pick it up. Read it slowly, not like information, like a mirror. Read it like a man walking back through his own house. opening doors he has kept locked for 30 years, holding the torch high and refusing to look away. But that is tomorrow. Tonight, you have done enough. Tonight you came down the stairs. Tonight you stood at the door of the first room. Tonight you let the witness show you the truth without flinching. So rest now. Let the breath go slow. Let the body grow heavy. Let the dark be honest dark. Not the artificial moon of the glowing screen, but the deep, quiet dark where a king sleeps in his own kingdom. And as you drift, remember the only thing you need to carry into tomorrow. You were never broken. You were occupied. And what was occupied can be reclaimed. The soul shakes when the script begins to die. Let it shake. Because on the other side of that trembling stands the man the world could never govern. The one who was always there, beneath the performance, beneath the contract, beneath the agreeable mask you wore so the world would let you belong. He is awake now, and the world does not fear your goodness. It fears the part of you it cannot rule. Tonight, your no came home. In a moment, the next episode in this series will begin playing automatically. Stop fixing everyone else. Somatic shadow work for the compassionate self, the man who carries everyone and is carried by no one. Stay and let it carry you deeper. And hear this before you drift. One night rescues the king. Keeping him on the throne is a practice. In Awaken Your Shadow, I name the devil who built this room. I show you how he bought your silence, and I give you the daily weapons that make your no permanent. The audiobook is linked below this video. Click that link now to begin your journey, or continue listening for the next video in this series.